So welcome to Urent property management system. Uh, this is a software solution that has been designed to handle all complexity to do with the manual process of managing the tenant's business. So the software is accessed online, and in order to access it, you need a website, which is this. It is urent.el.lug.com, and once you get into this, you click on login. These are some of the key features that the software does. First of all, it has tenant management, payment tracking, property insight, tenants billing, expense management, profit management, SMS and email notification, and the whole thing is about property management. So when you click on login, you should have a landlord ID. You should also have a username. You should also have a password. So in case you don't have these details, you don't have the landlord ID, you don't have the username, you don't have the password, then you'll have to click on register, which registration will take you through. There is a form that is going to be opened, you fill it. After filling it, the system will send you an activation email with a link, which when you click on it, then it is able to activate your account for a period of 2 months. So I've clicked on login, and this is the first page that appears. So we are able to see the total houses, the total tenants, the payment history, the expense entry, and then the communication module. Together with this panel, which allows you to see the tenants whose rent is due, the tenant's wallet, where you see the balances on people's wallet. So on the left panel, we have the house type. The house type, that's where you profile the category of houses that you have. If it is a flat, so you would have all houses on the ground floor profiled as ground floor. Then you can have first floor, second floor, third floor, fourth floor, fifth floor. For cases where people have houses that are located in different places, so we can have these as the categories. For example, you have houses in Nasana, you have houses in Chanja, you have houses in Gayaza. Those ones would can be categorized as house categories. So after entering these categories, then you proceed to adding houses. So adding houses means you put the house number, the category where the house is, the house description, and then the occupancy. By default, when you enter the house, we put 0 to represent the house is empty, and 1 to represent the house is occupied. So after that, we go to house prices, and for house prices, now you are able to add prices to your houses. For example, you select the house number, then you tag it with price, and then you tag it to particular months. So the system was designed in such a way that your different months can be priced differently. So for the sake of this account and this house, 5005. So we have September, October, November, December prices set. So we can as well set houses for other months. So in this case, these houses for this month, if they would pay 250, this is the year is 2024. Just do that and then you click on save. So we have been able to set what is this L? L5. So we have September, October, November, December. So let's set for L05, 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 which is this, and the year is 2014. So we are setting for August, it's for January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. So the rest is done. All right. Good. So we have it set for this particular house. So that's how we would set out prices for the houses. Then we can proceed to profiling tenants. And profiling tenants means entering data for a particular tenant. So you click on new tenant. So you are able to assign a tenant a number, get identification for that particular tenant. It can be the national ID together with the number, and then the scanned copy of the ID, the name, last name, first name, middle name, email, contact, and then the house the person is entering. So that's how this information was entered. So the next is you enter your utility bills, the utility bills that you expect your business to incur, that you expect your tenants to be paying alongside the tenancy fees. So in this case, you have water, electricity, internet, garbage, and any other utility bill that you would like to be charged, together with the security fees. There are landlords that do charge security fees, so still they would be charged under security. Then after that, then you start collecting money from the tenants, and how that money is connected. The money is entered into the customer wallet. So you select new, and then you're able to identify a tenant, the amount that the tenant has deposited, assuming this tenant has deposited 1 million. The tenant, the person paying is Ineviana Gloria, and then you should have a reference number with reference to this transaction. So the beauty with here, once the money is paid, the tenants are going to get SMS notifications on the registered mobile phones. So after that, after the tenant paying, then you go to invoicing. Invoicing means you can either invoice monthly, that is the tenancy bills, or charging the utility bills, as we can see. Still, you tag it to tenant, you select the month, then you select the year. Then you are able to get these invoices, and once these invoices are generated, the tenant is going to be notified on their registered email addresses. So next is going to be, because that has been entered, so now you can look at statements. So when you got statements, you are able to generate statements. The statements, the financial statements, for example, how this tenant has been paying and how he has been using his credit. So in this case, I have this tenant called Namialo Junior. So I can print her statement. So I can print this statement and give it to her. So we can as well see the overview of the houses. Green means the house is occupied, whereas red means the house is empty. So we can as well view reports. These are monthly payment reports. This one, they show how invoices have been coming in and how these invoices have been paid or not paid. And down we have the total amount invoiced, the total amount paid, the total amount not paid. So here we can see the balances. So this is a report that has the invoices that are not paid. And then we can as well go to expenses. And by expenses, we are able to enter expenses that we incur during the tenancy business. Things like administrative costs, things like repair, things like fuel, they are going to be entered under expenses. So after entering expenses, then you can proceed to viewing reports, and you are able to view reports for a particular period. For example, you have this is the expense report. As we can see, it has meals, it has fuel, then it has summary for each particular, it has welfare. We can as well have the profit and loss statement, which shows the revenue stream. The revenue stream here are the houses. They're the ones that are contributing to the landlord's income. And then we have the expenses. Then we have the debts. And ultimately, we have the net income. And lastly, we have the tenant's performance report. And with tenant's performance report, you're able to see how your tenancy business is performing. So performance report, for example, we have the monthly rent collection performance, where we have the total rent due. These figures, they are automatically generated from the system using the data that has been entered. So we are able to get the total rent dues, the total rent collected, the rent collection rate, and then we are able to tell the number of tenants with balances. So here we have the occupancy and vacancy report. So where you get for each particular category that we enter, you're able to get to understand the true number of records, the occupied ones, the vacant one, the occupancy rate, and the vacancy rate. Then you're able also to look at the financial performance reports, where you have the gross rate income, the operation expenses, net operating income, then the return on investment. You can as well look at the graphs the graphs. And the first graph, it has the performance charts, where you look at the rent collection, where we have the rent dues against the rent collected, and then the occupancies versus the vacancy rate. So in this case, for each particular category, you are able to tell the number of houses that are occupied uh, against the number of houses which are not occupied. And lastly is the communication bit. And with this communication, you are able to send SMS reminders. It can be SMS communication to your tenants. And this improves the communication between the property managers or the landlords and their tenants. These messages are customized with the tenants, with details like the tenancy's name, the tenancy's balance, all that information.